Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to enjoy your life and become who God created you to be. If you truly want a positive change in your life, don't just listen. Take action, like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you can receive more inspiring messages. Have you ever looked at your goals, your dreams, your potential, and realized you're stuck not because you're incapable, but because you're waiting for the right moment? Here's the truth. That perfect moment, it's never coming. And procrastination? It's not a harmless habit. It's a silent thief stealing your future one delayed decision at a time. But what if today was the last day you ever let procrastination win? What if you could flip a switch in your mind that made you unstoppable? Let's do it together. Most people procrastinate not because they're lazy, but because they lack clarity. When you don't know exactly what needs to be done, your mind begins to swirl in confusion and indecision. The truth is, vagueness breeds hesitation. You say you want to get in shape or start a business or write a book, but those are not goals. They're dreams without structure. And dreams without structure remain trapped in your imagination. Procrastination feeds off ambiguity. It thrives when your mind doesn't have a specific target. Without clarity, every task feels overwhelming, and every step feels like a mountain. Your brain doesn't respond well to blurry visions. It responds to direction, to targets, to specifics. Imagine waking up every morning with a clear, non-negotiable plan. At 7 a.m., I go for a 30-minute run. At 8 a.m., I write 500 words. At 9 a.m., I send 2 emails to potential clients. Suddenly, your day doesn't seem so intimidating. There's no mental debate about what you or should be doing because it's already been decided. Clarity removes the decision fatigue that causes delay. When your mind doesn't have to negotiate with itself every hour, your energy flows directly into execution. Most people put off tasks not because they're difficult, but because they're undefined. They don't start writing because they haven't decided what they're writing about. They don't go to the gym because they haven't chosen a workout plan. They don't start the business because they haven't identified the first actionable step. The task itself isn't the problem. It's the fog surrounding it. Clarity slices through that fog like a blade. It simplifies what seems complex. It breaks down the abstract into concrete action. There's immense power in writing things down in detail. When you set goals, don't just write a launch YouTube channel, right? Or create a script by Monday, film by Wednesday, edit by Friday, and publish by Saturday at 5 p.m. Break it down until it's impossible to misunderstand. Each part becomes a micro mission you can tackle without hesitation. When the steps are clear, the excuses vanish. Clarity also provides emotional relief. It's mentally exhausting to carry around a vague, looming pressure to do more or be better without knowing what that means. That kind of pressure turns into anxiety, fuels avoidance. But when your goals are specific, you trade anxiety for confidence. You're no longer chasing an invisible target, you're hitting visible checkpoints. Every step completed gives you momentum, and momentum is the antidote to procrastination. Clarity doesn't just guide your actions, it shapes your mindset. It transforms your internal dialogue from "I don't know what to do" to "I know exactly what to do next." And that change, though subtle, is powerful. It gives you control. It puts you in the driver's seat of your day, your goals, and ultimately, your life. One of the biggest lies we've been told is that we need to feel motivated before we take action. That we should wait until inspiration strikes, until the timing feels right, until we're in the mood. But the harsh truth is this: if you wait for motivation, you'll wait forever. Motivation is unpredictable. It comes and goes like the wind. Motion, action, even the smallest kind, is something you can control at any time. And the most powerful secret high performers know is that motion creates motivation, not the other way around. Think about it. Have you ever dragged yourself to start a task you didn't want to do? Cleaning the house, going for a run, opening up your work laptop. And then a few minutes in, you suddenly found your rhythm. The resistance fades, and what once felt impossible starts to feel manageable, even enjoyable. That's not motivation appearing out of nowhere. That's your brain catching up to your body in motion. The hardest part is not the task itself, it's the start. Once you move, the engine warms up. And once the engine warms up, momentum takes over. This is why the 2-minute rule is so effective. Commit to just 2 minutes of effort. If you want to write, just open your laptop and type a few sentences. If you want to work out, just put on your shoes and do 1 stretch. What often happens is you don't stress up at 2 minutes. The act of starting breaks the inertia and invites flow. It signals to your mind that you're already doing the thing, and the mind, not wanting to interrupt the flow, keeps going. The movement itself is a trigger. That's the secret weapon that kills procrastination. Motion also rewires your identity. When you take action, even in small doses, you reinforce a new story about yourself. I'm someone who follows through. Every time you move forward, no matter how slowly, you chip away at the old belief that you're stuck or lazy. You create a track record of execution. You prove to yourself that action is always available, even on bad days, and that belief becomes a foundation for consistency. Another overlooked truth is that motion brings clarity. You might not know the perfect way to approach a goal. You might feel overwhelmed by all the possibilities, all the questions, but action gives answers. When you start moving, the path becomes clearer. You learn faster by doing than by thinking. You get feedback, you adjust, you improve. You can't steer a parked car, but once it's moving, even slightly, you can change direction. That's how you outpace perfectionism. You stop trying to get it all figured out and start making real progress. In the end, motion is a choice. It's a habit. It's a muscle you train. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to begin. And when you do, motivation will catch up to you. Not because you waited, but because you moved. Most people live as if time belongs to them, as if it's an infinite resource they can tap into whenever they feel ready. But time is not yours. It's rented. And the bill comes due whether you use it or not. Every day you wake up is a day on loan. We don't own the seconds ticking by. You're simply borrowing them. And once they're gone, there's no refund, no return, no negotiation. The problem is we've been conditioned to believe there's always more time, more chances, more tomorrows, more opportunities down the road. So we delay, we put off dreams, conversations, risks, growth. We convince ourselves that we'll do it later. But later is an illusion. When you see time as something you own, procrastination feels harmless. You assume the future will be more generous than the present. But when you recognize that every moment is a gift with an expiration date, everything changes. You start to feel the urgency, not in a panicked or rushed way, but in a focused and intentional one. You understand that wasting time isn't just wasting hours, it's trading pieces of your potential for comfort. And that trade always costs more than you think. There's a dangerous lie that says, you have time. It whispers to you every morning when you feel unmotivated. It makes you scroll for hours, binge for days, sit still when action is needed. It tells you that you'll be fine starting tomorrow. But here's the truth most people don't face until it's too late. Someday never comes. You'll blink and 5 years will have passed. You'll realize the window for your best work is closing. And what hurts the most isn't what you didn't do, it's knowing you had the chance and let it slip. Time doesn't care about your plans. It won't pause because you're unsure, scared, or unprepared. It won't slow down while you find your motivation. It keeps moving with or without you. And for every minute you hesitate, someone else is using that same minute to outwork you, outgrow you, and outdream you. Life rewards urgency, not panic, not chaos, but the deep realization that your time is temporary and that your choices today echo into eternity. Once you truly grasp that time is rented, your standards rise. You stop tolerating distractions. You stop letting small things eat up your big goals. You stop wasting energy on things and people that don't move you forward. Your priorities sharpen. Your actions become deliberate. Deliberate. You learn to say no more often. Not because you're rude, but because you understand the value of a day. You don't get days back. You don't get to replay this life. You either spend it building something meaningful, or building something better tomorrow. And while others wait for permission, you start. While others hesitate, you execute. Not because you have more time, but because you know you don't. That mindset alone will separate you from the masses and put you on the path to the life that procrastination has tried to keep just out of reach. Perfection is the ultimate procrastinator's disguise. It looks noble on the surface, a commitment to excellence, a refusal to settle for less. But dig a little deeper, and you'll find fear hiding underneath. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. So instead of starting, you keep planning. Instead of finishing, you keep tweaking. You tell yourself you're just trying to make it better. But the truth is you're afraid it won't be good enough. This is the trap of perfectionism, and it's one of the most effective ways to kill progress before it even begins. The pursuit of perfection paralyzes more dreams than failure ever could. It convinces you that unless something is flawless, it's not worth doing. That kind of thinking leads to endless delays. You spend hours refining an idea you haven't even acted on. You waste weeks redoing work that was already good enough. And you never hit publish, never show your work, never launch your vision, because it's not already. The perfection is a moving target. The closer you get to it, the further it shifts. You'll never arrive, and chasing it will exhaust you long before it ever rewards you. Progress, on the other hand, is measurable. It's forward motion, no matter how messy or imperfect. It's choosing to begin, knowing you'll figure things out along the way. The most successful people in any field aren't the ones who got it right the first time. They're the ones who started when it was ugly, unclear, and uncertain. They chose momentum over mastery. They released version 1, learned from the feedback, and got better through doing, not waiting. They knew that speed beats perfection when perfection keeps you stuck. There's also a hidden confidence that grows when you embrace progress. Every small win builds belief. Every imperfect step taken becomes evidence that you're capable. And confidence isn't born from thinking, you earn it by doing. The more you move, the less power fear holds over you. You stop seeing flaws as failures and start seeing them as feedback. That shift alone can change everything. Because when you replace perfect with progress, you give yourself permission to grow. Waiting for perfect timing, perfect skills, or the perfect plan is just another way to avoid risk. But risk is where growth lives. Every bold move you've ever dreamed of making lives on the other side of imperfection. It's messy, uncertain, and uncomfortable, but it's real. And real is always better than perfect in theory. You don't need to be flawless, you need to be consistent. You don't need to impress everyone. You need to move forward. Done is better than perfect because done means progress. Progress means momentum. And momentum is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary things. Not because they waited until they were ready, but because they started before they were. Your environment is not just where you live or work. It's the invisible force that shapes your habits, focus, energy, and ultimately your destiny. Most people think they failed because of a lack of discipline or drive, but often the true enemy is the space they're trying to grow in. Your surroundings either pull you forward or drag you backward. You can have the best intentions in the world, but if you're living in an environment that breeds distraction, negativity, and stagnation, you'll always feel like you're fighting against yourself. Look around right now. What does your environment tell you to do? Does it inspire action or encourage laziness? Is it organized and uplifting or cluttered and draining? You don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your systems, and your environment is the foundation of that system. If your phone is constantly buzzing with notifications, if your workspace is chaotic, if the people around you are constantly complaining or settling for average, then your focus will shatter and your energy will deplete before the day even begins. The brain is wired to take the path of least resistance. So if distractions are easy to access, you'll use them. If junk food is on the counter, you'll eat it. If the television is the focal point of the room, you'll end up watching it. That's not weakness, it's biology. But the good news is, you can redesign your environment to make the right choices effortless and the wrong ones difficult. Put your phone in another room when you work. Keep your space clean and minimal. Surround yourself with books, tools, and symbols that remind you of your goals. Create a space where productivity feels natural, not forced. And it's not just the physical space, it's the people too. The conversations you have, the energy people bring into your life, the expectations they set, all of it shapes your mindset. If you're constantly around people who make excuses, you'll find it easier to justify your own. But if you spend time with people who hold themselves to high standards, who execute even when they don't feel like it, who treat time like gold, you'll absorb that energy. You'll start to raise your standards without even realizing it. Changing your environment isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Sometimes that means cleaning up your space. Sometimes it means changing your routines. And sometimes it means distancing yourself from people who keep pulling you into the same old cycles. When you build an environment that supports your growth, you don't have to rely on willpower alone. The space works with you, not against you. It gently nudges you toward action, clarity, and discipline. You stop wasting energy on resisting temptation or forcing focus, and start using that energy to build the life you know you're capable of creating. Now, imagine the life you want, fully lived, fully expressed, fully yours. It's not out of reach, it's not locked behind some secret door, it's waiting for you on the other side of action. Procrastination is not a permanent condition, it's a habit, and like any habit, it can be broken. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent or luck. It's the willingness to start, to move, to push forward even when it's uncomfortable. You have everything you need to stop delaying your greatness right now. Clarity will give you direction. Motion will build your momentum. Recognizing the limited nature of time will fuel your urgency. Choosing progress over perfection will free you from fear. And crafting an environment that supports your goals will make your journey sustainable. What's left is simply this: the decision to begin. No more waiting for motivation. No more chasing perfect timing. The moment is now. Step into your power. Take control of your time and move forward with purpose. Every small step you take breaks the chains of procrastination and moves you closer to the life you deserve. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the action you choose to take today. So take it. If this message spoke to you, hit like and share it with someone who needs it. Don't forget to subscribe for more powerful insights that keep you moving forward.